my fiancé announced, "We're having a small wedding. Your family isn't invited." I said, "Understood." Then I canceled the venue I was secretly paying for. The wedding planner's call came during her bachelorette party. I, 31 male, am sitting here with a whiskey, watching my ex-fiancée Camille, 29, have a complete meltdown via her friend's Instagram stories. 3 hours ago, she found out her dream wedding venue was canceled, the venue I'd been secretly paying for over the past 8 months, the one she told me her rich daddy was handling. Let me back up. Camille and I got engaged last year. Beautiful proposal, she cried. Posted it everywhere, the works. Started planning the wedding immediately. She wanted this massive fairy tale thing. We're talking 200 plus guests, country club venue, the whole 9 yards. Cool. Whatever makes her happy, right? Then 2 weeks ago, she sits me down with this serious face. "Babe, we need to talk about the wedding." "Everything okay?" "So Daddy and I have been thinking we're gonna keep it intimate. Really small. Like just immediate family." "Oh, that actually sounds nice, right? So it'll be my parents, my brothers, their wives, my aunts and uncles, my cousins." She lists like 60 people, all her side. "What about my family?" "Well, that's the thing. To keep it small, we can't invite everyone. Your family is just a lot. I have my mom, my sister, and my grandmother." "I know, but if we invite them, we have to invite my extended family's plus ones, and it spirals. You understand, right? Besides, your mom doesn't even like fancy events." "My mom loves fancy events. She literally runs a catering business." "So you're saying my 3 family members can't come to my own wedding?" "Don't be dramatic. We'll have a separate celebration with them later. Maybe a barbecue or something." That's more their style anyway. That's when I knew. But I kept my mouth shut. Understood. What Camille didn't know was that her daddy wasn't paying for shit. About 8 months ago, she'd come to me crying about how her dad's business was struggling and they might have to cancel the wedding plans. I felt bad and offered to help with deposits. One thing led to another, and I ended up paying for literally everything. But we agreed to keep it quiet because her dad was proud and would be embarrassed. Total paid so far, $23,000. Venue, catering, flowers, band, photographer, the dress she put on daddy's card, all me. The venue alone was $8,000. Fully refundable if canceled 30 plus days before the event. We were 35 days out. So after our little chat about my family being too much, I made some calls. Venue, canceled. Full refund. Catering, canceled. 80% refund. Flowers, canceled. Full refund. My mom knows the florist. Photographer, canceled. Full refund. Hadn't done engagement shots yet. Band, canceled. 50% refund. Total recovered, $19,500. Then I waited, knew she'd find out during her bachelorette party because her maid of honor, Jessica, was supposed to do a final venue walkthrough today. 3 hours ago, my phone exploded. Ignored it all, but I'm watching the Instagram stories and it's glorious. Camille is sobbing in some Vegas hotel room, mascara everywhere while her bridesmaids try to calm her down. Jessica is on the phone screaming at someone. Her mom is apparently driving to the venue to demand answers. The best part? In one of the videos, I can hear Camille wailing. How could this happen? Daddy confirmed everything last week. No, he didn't, because Daddy doesn't even know the venue name. I know this because I'm the only one who's ever actually talked to them. Just got a text from her brother asking if I know what's going on. Responded, "No idea. Your dad's handling everything, right? Tomorrow should be fun." Update 1. So Camille cut her bachelorette trip short and came home last night. I was conveniently at my buddy Derek's place playing poker. Great alibi, 5 witnesses. She called me 73 times. I answered on the 74th. "Camille, emergency. The venue is gone." Me, what? How? I don't know. They said the deposit was never paid, but Daddy said he handled it. That's weird. Did you call your dad? He's not answering, because he's probably confused as hell about what venue she's even talking about. I'm sure it's just a misunderstanding. Your dad's got it handled. Can you come home? I need you. Derek's pretty drunk and I'm his ride. Tomorrow? She hung up on me. This morning she was at my apartment when I got there. Full panic mode. Her dad had finally answered, and apparently said, "What venue? I thought you were handling everything with the wedding planner?" Plot twist, there is no wedding planner. Camille told him I hired one, told me her dad hired one. She's been coordinating everything herself and lying to both of us. But here's where it gets really good. Her mom, Diane, called me while Camille was in the bathroom. Diane, I need to know something, and I need you to be honest. Have you been paying for this wedding? Why would you think that? Because I know my husband hasn't paid for a damn thing. And I know Camille doesn't have the money, so either you're paying or she's in massive debt. I may have helped with some deposits. How much? Around $23,000. Long silence. And she told you we were paying? She said your husband was embarrassed about his business struggles and wanted to keep it quiet. His business is fine. He just bought a boat. A boat. This man bought a boat while I was paying for his daughter's wedding. Did you cancel everything? Me, I canceled what I paid for. Yes. Good. She doesn't deserve it. I'll deal with her. But before Diane could deal with anything, Camille came out of the bathroom with her phone. I figured it out. The venue is saying someone called claiming to be you and canceled everything. Someone must have stolen your identity. That's crazy. How would they know all the booking details? I don't know. We need to call the police. Sure, let's file a report. They'll need to see all the contracts and payment records. Her face went white. Because guess whose name is on all those contracts? Not Daddy's. Actually, maybe we should just focus on rebooking things. With what money? Your dad's paying, right? I need to talk to him first. She left to figure things out. That's when I started getting the texts from her friends. You're a monster. How could you do this to her? Random bridesmaid. I hope you're happy ruining the best day of her life. Camille's brother. Dude, not cool. But then, plot twist of all plot twists, I get a message from someone unexpected. Camille's ex, Roger. Roger. Hey man, heard about the wedding drama? Just thought you should know. She pulled the same shit with me 3 years ago. Told me her parents were super religious and my atheist family would ruin the vibe. Found out later she was embarrassed by my mom's accent. Run, dude. What? I called my mom to tell her everything. Her response? Oh honey, I knew she was trash when she said my homemade pie looks store-bought at Thanksgiving. Cancel everything else and come have dinner. I'm making your favorite. Update 2. The entitlement has reached astronomical levels. So Camille figured out I know everything. How? Her dad called her, confused about why I was lying about paying for a wedding venue. She tried to convince him I was confused, but Diane had already showed him the screenshots I sent her of Camille's texts about his financial troubles and embarrassment. Her dad, Frank, is pissed. Not at me. At her. He called me directly. Frank, son, I'm gonna need you to send me every receipt, every contract, every text message. My daughter is about to learn about consequences. Sent him everything. The man went nuclear. He cut off her credit cards. The one she's been using for her new apartment. Yeah, she has her own place but told me she needed to stay with me to save money for our future. The ones financing her lifestyle while she works part-time at a boutique because planning the wedding is basically a full-time job. So what does Camille do? Shows up at my work. My work. Security desk calls. There's a Camille here with several suitcases saying she's moving into your office. I go down. She's there with literally 6 suitcases. You ruined my life, so I'm going to live wherever you are until you fix this. Me, Camille. This is my workplace. I don't care. You canceled my wedding. You owe me a wedding. We're getting married this Saturday whether you like it or not. Security is trying not to laugh. We're not together anymore, Camille. You don't get to decide that. We're engaged. Me, we're engaged. Past tense. She started screaming about how I'm legally obligated to marry her because she already sent out save the dates, to only her side, remember. Security escorts her out. She leaves the suitcases saying she'll be back when you're done with your tantrum. But wait, there's more. Jessica starts a GoFundMe. Help Camille rebuild her dream wedding after vengeful ex sabotages everything. The description is a complete fantasy about how I'm an abusive narcissist who isolated her from her support system and then destroyed her life when she tried to stand up to me. It raised $200, while $150 was from her mom, who then requested a refund and commented, "My daughter is a liar and a manipulator. Please don't enable her." Diane is becoming my favorite person. Then Camille tries a new angle. She messages my sister, Zoe. Hey girl, so excited to have you as my sister-in-law. Quick question. What's your dress size? Even though the venue mix-up happened, we're still having a small ceremony Saturday, and I want you there. Zoe's response, the same size I was when you said I was too fat for your bridal party. Also no. See, Camille had told Zoe she couldn't be a bridesmaid because the dresses only come in certain sizes and we want uniform aesthetics. Zoe wears a size 10. The dresses went up to size 20. But the peak happened this morning. I get a call from the country club. Remember the venue that was canceled? Venue coordinator, Mr. Me, I'm calling about your upcoming payment. I canceled and received my refund. Yes, but Miss Camille has rebooked under a payment plan she says you agreed to co-sign. Absolutely not. I did not agree to that. She provided your credit card information. The audacity. She memorized my card details and tried to use them. That's fraud. I'm calling my bank and the police. We'll handle this internally first. The booking is canceled. I did call my bank, and I did file a police report. Currently waiting for her to find out the venue canceled her again. Her Instagram story from 20 minutes ago shows her at a bridal shop trying on veils with the caption, "Sometimes you have to be your own hero." Zoe commented, "The only thing you're rescuing is the clearance rack." Final update. The wedding day has come and gone, and I'm genuinely speechless at how this all played out. So after the credit card fraud attempt, I figured that was rock bottom. Nope. Camille had a whole other basement level to explore. Thursday, 2 days before her imaginary wedding, she sent out a mass email to everyone in her contacts and mine. She'd copied my address book months ago for wedding planning. The email. Dearest friends and family, despite recent challenges and betrayal from someone I trusted, the wedding is still happening. This Saturday, 2 p.m. at Riverside Park Pavilion. It's going to be a potluck celebration of love conquering all. Bring a dish and your dancing shoes. Cash gifts preferred to help us start our new life. Love, Camille, and my name. She sent this to my boss, my grandma, my dentist, everyone. But she made one crucial error. She also sent it to Frank and Diane. Frank immediately replied, there is no wedding. My daughter is having some kind of breakdown. Please disregard this email. Also, my name, if you're reading this, I support whatever legal action you're taking. This started an epic reply-all chain. My favorite response was from my grandma. Camille, dear, I wasn't invited to the original wedding because you said I was too much. Why would I come now? Also, my name, I never liked her. Come for lunch Sunday, bring Zoe. But Camille wasn't done. She showed up at Riverside Park Pavilion on Saturday in a full wedding dress. The dress she bought with Daddy's money, aka my money that I'm never getting back. Set up a speaker, decorations she bought from Dollar Tree, and a sign that said Camille and my name's new beginning. How do I know this? Because Roger, her ex, went and live streamed it. He sent me the link with, you need to see this. Y'all, she performed a whole ceremony. By herself. She walked herself down the aisle, about 10 feet of sidewalk. She said vows to an empty chair. She played both parts of I do. She pronounced herself married. She threw the bouquet to nobody. Then she had a first dance with the air. The only people there were 3 homeless guys who showed up for the promised food. There wasn't any. And Roger, who was narrating like it was a nature documentary. Roger's commentary. Here we see the delusional bride in her natural habitat. Notice how she maintains eye contact with absolutely nothing. Fascinating. Someone called the cops because she didn't have a permit for the pavilion. They showed up right as she was cutting a grocery store sheet cake she'd brought. But here's the actual insane part. She listed herself as married on social media. Posted the live stream, not realizing Roger was mocking her with the caption, "Perfect intimate ceremony with the love of my life. Sometimes when someone tries to dim your light, you shine brighter." People started congratulating her. Then someone asked where I was. Her response? He's camera shy, but he was there in spirit. In spirit. She married my spirit. Jessica finally had enough and commented, "Camille, this is insane. You need help." Camille blocked her, her own maid of honor. Monday, I get served papers. She's suing me for breach of promise to marry, not a thing in our state. Emotional damages, $50,000. The cost of the wedding that should have happened. $75,000. Lost future earnings from not being a married woman. $100,000. My lawyer literally laughed when he read it. Please tell me she's representing herself. She is. Her first filing had Comic Sans font. Comic Sans. The judge dismissed everything except the fraud charge I pressed against her for the credit card thing. She has to appear for that next month. But the absolute best part? Remember Frank's boat? Well, he decided to be petty too. He named it Not Camille's Wedding Fund and posted photos of the christening on Facebook. Tagged her in it. Diane filed for divorce from Frank. Apparently this was the last straw in a long pattern of him enabling Camille. She's taking half of everything, including the boat. She's renaming her half Karma. As for Camille, last I heard she was trying to start a GoFundMe for her divorce. From me. We were never legally married. The GoFundMe was taken down for fraud. She moved back in with Frank, who now has to deal with her alone since Diane left. He's already texted me twice asking for advice. I blocked him. My mom did end up catering an event last Saturday, my not getting married party. Just family and close friends. She made a cake that said, "Dodged a bullet," with a little groom running away from a bridezilla. Even made bride and groom cookies, where the bride was behind bars for the credit card fraud. Zoe gave a toast to my brother, who finally learned the difference between a red flag and a red carpet. My grandma got drunk and told everyone about the time she knew Camille was trash. She asked me if my pearls were real. When I said yes, she asked if I'd leave them to her in my will, since me wouldn't want them. I'm still alive, you tacky witch. The recovery from the canceled wedding stuff ended up being about $21,000 after all the refunds and the returned engagement ring. Used $10 to take my mom, sister, and grandma on a nice vacation. The rest went into savings for an actual future with someone who isn't certifiably insane. Roger and I are actually friends now. He brought his new girlfriend to my not wedding party. She's delightful and also escaped a relationship with someone in Camille's friend circle. We compared notes. There's apparently a whole group of them who operate like this. Camille's still posting about her husband, me, and how I'm just taking space to process our beautiful commitment. She wears the ring she bought herself. She tells people we're working through things. We've never spoken since the day she was escorted from my office. The fraud charge court date is in 3 weeks. My lawyer says she'll probably get community service and have to pay restitution. I'm not holding my breath on ever seeing that money. But honestly, worth every penny to not be legally tied to someone who would exclude my 3 family members from our wedding while inviting her 60-plus relatives and then perform a solo wedding ceremony in a public park. My mom's already planning to cater my next relationship's eventual wedding for free. As long as she's not crazy and actually invites me, she says. The bar is literally underground at this point, but I'm hopeful. Oh, and Camille, since I know you stalk my socials with your fake accounts, your dad's boat is ugly, your solo wedding was embarrassing, and everybody saw you try to shoplift that veil from David's bridal. They have cameras, sweetie. Peace out.